Hi, I'm Anna Anderson, and I'm an expert on student loans at the National Consumer Law Center. In this video, we'll discuss private student loans. There are two types of student loans, federal and private loans. Most people have federal loans, but a smaller number of people have private loans. Private loans are issued by a bank, lender, or other institution. Federal student loans are issued or backed by the federal government. Private student loans are not. When you take out federal loans, you apply using the FAFSA application. When you borrow a private loan, however, you apply for the loan directly from the lender. For private loans, the lender sets the amount you can borrow and the interest rate. Private loans are also based on your credit, and the lender may require you to have a cosigner who will be responsible for the debt if you can't repay it. Unlike federal loans, private student loan information is not on studentaid.gov. Any loans listed on your studentaid.gov account are federal student loans. Unfortunately, there's no central place where a borrower can find all of their private student loan information. However, private student loans often appear on your credit reports. Additionally, if you know who your private loans are serviced by, you may be able to find your private student loan information by logging into your account on your servicer's website. Private student loans do not have the same repayment options as federal loans. Private lenders are not required to offer affordable repayment plans. However, some private lenders do offer affordable repayment programs, but it will depend on who your lender is and what the terms of your loan agreement are. If your lender promised you this kind of help when you took out the private student loan, they must stick to those promises. You should review your private loan agreement carefully to better understand what rights you have. If you don't have a copy of your loan agreement, you should ask your lender for a copy. It never hurts to ask for help. If you're struggling with repayment, ask your lender about what options you may have. Private student loans do not have the same cancellation and forgiveness options as federal student loans. However, some lenders do offer cancellation and forgiveness programs in limited circumstances, such as if you cannot work due to a disability, or if you're the cosigner on the loan and the primary borrower passed away. You can ask your lender if they offer cancellation and forgiveness programs for private student loans. But remember, these lenders are not required by law to help you unless they promise to offer these programs in your original loan agreement. Unlike federal loans, borrowers may default on private loans after just one missed payment. Getting out of default on private student loans is a much different process than for federal loans. Unlike federal loans, private student loan lenders are not required by law to offer get-out-of-default programs. If you default on your private loan, the lender may try to collect it itself, or the debt might be turned over to a collection agency. You still owe the debt if it has been written off or sold to another collection agency. To collect on the debt, the lender or collection agency may sue you. If you are sued, you may have defenses to the lawsuit, and you should talk to a lawyer right away. If you ignore the lawsuit, you could end up with a default judgment against you. Once a judgment is entered, the lender or collection agency may be able to get a lien against your house, seize money from your bank account, or garnish your wages to collect the judgment. If you are sued for a private student loan debt, you may have legal protections related to the statute of limitations, in addition to other basic consumer protections. Even if you think you owe the debt, you may still have defenses. Each state has different laws and rules for debt collection cases, so your rights may depend on where you live. For most people, it is a bad idea to refinance your federal student loans into private student loans. While you may get a lower interest rate by refinancing your federal loans into private student loans, you will lose all the protections and benefits that come with federal student loans, including income-driven repayment plans, deferment and forbearance options, as well as loan forgiveness and cancellation programs. Additionally, private student loans may still end up costing you more if other fees are added to the loan, even if the interest rate seems low at first glance. If you want to lower your payments on your federal student loans, consider an income-driven repayment plan instead of refinancing. Not only will your payments be based on your income and family size, but you will also earn credit toward loan forgiveness. If you need help dealing with your private student loans, please visit studentloanborrowerassistance.org and studentaid.gov, linked below for more information.